Good afternoon, folks. I am Sean in Alaska. Man, it's been a long time since I've had a chance to sit down with you guys on an actually planned live. How you guys doing today? Let me know how the audio and video is before I get too far into this. I like to get all the way back up to the top and say hello to everybody that's in the chat. So let me know if everything's coming across fine, and you know, can you see my ugly mug good? Can you hear me fine? That's basically what I'm looking for at this point. Oh, I've got the camera sitting over here because I'm looking on the big monitor so that I can actually read things without having to put my glasses on. All fine. Okay, Smiley says it's all good. We can scroll back up to the top. Man, it's been a crazy year. It has been a crazy year with a lot of stuff done. This time last year, I didn't even have the roof on yet, and it was taking me forever, and I didn't know I was ever going to get to this point. And then here I am living in the cabin now. As of March, I moved in. I got tired of trying to heat the cabin and the trailer at the same time, and it just got to be way too much. And I just said, forget it, moved in, and just pretty much have continued on from there. Let me say hello to a few people that are already in here. Leslie Lindsay, good to see you, my friend from Oregon. Awesome to have you here today. What do I have here? Brady G, good to see you. Awesome to have you here. No snow in Idaho. Joseph Padoni, how are you, Joseph? Happy Sunday. Usually when I do my videos on Friday, he always says happy Friday. So happy Sunday, Joseph. 46 in Philly. Richard Young, good to see you, my friend, from the Hudson Valley, New York. Genova, good to see you as well from Columbia River. Rainy. Curmudgeon, how you doing, my friend? Don't forget to share out your channel by all means. Since you're going to be gracious enough to moderate for me tonight, I really appreciate that. That's super awesome. Scrolling on down here. Carol L., how are you? Good to see you. It's been a while. Charles and Annalyn from the Philippines. Good to see you guys as well. Awesome to have you here today. Ray Davis, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Jess, Rain Dance Bushcraft, back home in Canada where he belongs. Good to see you, my friend. Jill, glad you could make it. Al, how's it going, Al? Good to see you, my friend. Philip Ryder, how are you doing today from Missouri? Awesome to have you here. Mike McKinley from Ontario, glad you can make it as well. John Feeney, how are you, John? Good to see you. Latoya, thanks for joining me today. Steve, welcome, my friend. Thanks for being here today. Todd. So this is, if you've watched my videos and you've seen the big burly guy with the goatee, that's Todd. He lives across the street from me. Man, he has not had the greatest luck with the vid this year. He's on lockdown. Found out he was sick again. Sent me a text picture of the test and said, "Oh my gosh, does this mean I'm pregnant?" Bradley's watching from Oregon. Good to see you, Pam. Thank you very much. It's called a Utilikilt. I did not wear it as often as I should have this year. It's just with everything that I was doing, and the guys that were helping me on the roof. The rule was Sean can't wear a kilt when he's on the roof. I did not get to wear it as much as I like, but I think I'm probably going to break that thing out, and you're going to see a lot of winter kilt wearing here. Sunshine, welcome. Good to see you. Back from a brisk Sunday walk. It warmed up to 7. So the picture on the thumbnail for the live today was taken this morning in my truck on the way to do laundry. It was 22 below zero. Right now, I think we're hovering at about 2 degrees. But here's the crazy part, right? By Tuesday, we're supposed to be at 30. So we're having a 50-degree temperature increase in the next 3 days. It's Alaska. It's nuts. It's crazy. Smiley made it to alive. Karen, glad you could make it today. Awesome to see you. Angie, what's happening? You and the Beamer dog checking in. Very cool. Very cool. Latoya is watching from Jamaica. That is awesome. How's your weather down there? It's got to be kind of nice this time of year down there, huh? Frank Short, good to see you, man. How you doing? Dehydrating some green peppers. Very cool. Rebel Canners, glad you can make it today. Awesome to see you. Genova says 5x5. Paul Davidson, how you doing, my friend? I think I just covered that, but right now it's about probably 2 degrees Fahrenheit. I can look at my phone. The phone's never right, though. Right? I don't know where the phone gets the temperature from, but right now it says it's 9 degrees outside, but I don't think it's that warm. I think it's closer to 2. Upstairs, it's about 72 degrees. In the loft, it's about 68 down here right now. It has been chilly. It has been a bit chilly. Philip Ryder, good to see you, my friend. Everything's good. Perfect, perfect. Everybody can hear me. Wendy Benjamin from Nova Scotia, welcome. Good to see you today. Lighting is good today, which is crazy because I don't have any lights on. But I've got the window over here. The last time I did a live, I think I did it from the kitchen. I was doing lives from the kitchen. And I've got this table set up now where I do all of my editing for video and stuff. And I thought I'd just do it from here. I'm using let me see if I want to move the camera here. I messed stuff up here. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. So I'm using that Opes, where are we at here? There we go. 1800 watt power generator or portable power station that I did the review on to power everything today. So I don't have to fire up the generator at all, which is nice. It makes it so much more peaceful. You want another sneak peek? I'll give you another. I'll give you another sneak peek in a little bit. Henry Leslie, Vermont. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it today. Sandra Volmer, nice to have you here this afternoon. Welcome. Right, Paul. You have no idea. And like I was alluding to this morning, it was chilly this morning. I'm not going to lie. I woke up last night, but I haven't had to put more than one blanket on the bed since moving into this cabin. I have an extra blanket up there. Matter of fact, I'm going to go clear out the trailer this week when the temperature warms up and get more cold weather gear and clothing out of there. But I was still running around in socks on the floor in here this morning. It was nice. It was really, really nice. Jim Nutting, how you doing, my friend? Love the show from New York. Thank you, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Paul Davidson's in Kentucky. Joseph saying, Sean, I noticed they had scaffolding laying around. I was wondering if you could use that as a temporary winter shed, planking pallets and tarp over it. I probably could, but I'm going to use the scaffolding, I think, this winter. So I didn't really want to do anything with it other than break it down. And now if I'm going to use it, I'm going to have to dig it out. But I have it all together. I got everything in the yard organized this year, so I know where everything's at. But I'm actually going to be using it, I think, for a project or two this year. Yvonne Sebastian, welcome. Glad to see you still in Ohio. Awesome. Marcus, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Ray Davis, I thought it was cold in Texas, 65 and drizzle. I've been in Texas when it was cold. Texas does get cold. It gets brutally cold. Jess says, I have a bud here in town who swears by the Utilikilt. He's got like 3. They're great. Oh, they're awesome. They're so comfortable. They're so comfortable. CK from New Mexico. Awesome to have you here today. Glad you could make it. As I fly through here trying to catch up. If you leave a comment for me and I've obviously scrolled past it and missed it, leave it again. By all means, post it as many times as you want. And then when I see it, I'll answer it. Or if I've already answered it, I'll just skip over it again after that. But I kind of scroll through real quick in the beginning so I can say hi to everybody. Navy Dave and I are at a Chinese buffet. Do you like Chinese? Some very little Chinese food do I enjoy. I like combination rice, and I like egg rolls, and probably like Mongolian beef. I don't know if that counts as Chinese food, but I'm more of an Italian food, Mexican food, American food, some French food. It gets a little bit rich for me, but yeah, mostly European foods. Angie's front porch says 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So yeah, I don't know where this temperature, where the Weather Service gets their temperature from. Ruth from Ontario, Canada. Awesome to have you here today. Carla from Minnesota. Glad you can make it today as well. Susan. Happy Sunday to you as well. And cheers from Canada. Very cool. So what I like to do on these lives, if you guys got a question for me about anything or a comment that you want to leave about anything, by all means do it. Just put it out there for me. If you just want to sit back and watch and listen to me talk, and read the chat, that's fine too. There's no pressure to say anything or to do anything, but nothing's off the table. Any questions you got for me, if I can answer them, I will. If I can't, and I know where you might find the answer, I might point you in that direction as well. Because boy, I'll tell you what, doing this whole thing has taught me how to be a pretty good internet searcher for how to figure stuff out. And I've got some websites that I've used very prolifically during this entire build. LaRue Douglas, good to see you. Awesome to have you here today. CK wants to know, do I do anything special for the chickens when it's so cold? A heater for them? No. So there's 2 schools of thought on chickens. The one that I go with is they've got feathers. You don't need to heat them. They'll take care of themselves. And even down to say 30 below zero here on the property, I've never run heat in the coop. What I've been told is if you start to heat them, you're going to have to keep heating them. And for some people, that's not that difficult to do. I saw that. So I watch YouTube too, obviously. I saw that Eric and Ariel at Simple Living Alaska just refurbished their chicken coop and their chicken run and put a heater in there, one of the diesel heaters. And while they are heating their coop, they're not getting it warm, if that makes sense. They're just taking the edge off of the cold for the chickens, but they're still free to go outside and roam and do their stuff out in the run. They're also in a much colder part of Alaska than I am. So in an area like that, I might consider it. But down here where I'm at, we do have cold stretches, but they don't last that long. So I don't heat the chickens at all. Mike McKinley with the first comment on the wood stove. You have to get your wood stove done in the spring for next winter. Russell over at Raspberry Rock Off Grid was just giving me so much grief last night about the wood stove. So why is the wood stove not installed? Let me go over that right now. I have some things that I want to do before I run the piping and everything on the wood stove, and I haven't been able to do them yet because I've had some other projects I wanted to get done first. And right now, the propane heater, like I said, like I told Russell last night, it's costing me about $40 a month to heat. Well, not 40 a month, 40 a week to heat my place. So it's like $160 a month, right? Using propane. So it's not a 911 to get the wood stove in. I want the wood stove in. I would love to have the wood stove in, but I need to build the hearth and I need to do the backsplash and everything before I mount that stove in the final place that it's going to go and cut a hole in the wall. So that's the main reason why it hasn't happened yet. Homesteading, Northern Michigan. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Let me just tell you what I was told years ago, right? If you wear something underneath it, it's called a skirt, not a kilt. I only wear kilts. Kevin Wright from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. How are you, my friend? Susan saw snow flurries and ice pellets today in between sun breaks. Nice. I haven't seen the sun in a while. It'd be nice to, well, I mean, I saw a bit of it this morning, but it really, we had ice fog move in and it's kind of nasty and gloomy out there right now. Oh, is there ads in the live? When I set this up, it said there was going to be, and it said some people will see them and some people will not. So let me know if it gets ridiculous and maybe there's something I can do on my end to adjust it. Last year, I didn't have that in any of my lives. There were no ads, but I'd heard YouTube was going to start doing that. And so if I have to go back and turn something off, let me know if it becomes monotonous and I will turn it off. Mike wants to know if I ever got the wood underneath the cabin. Not yet, but that wasn't something that had to happen right away. The insulation did have to happen right away because I can get to underneath the cabin even with the snow that's on the ground, right? So I could just take the plywood and slide it right underneath there and screw it up there. But I haven't had to worry about it. I did leave. Everybody was all worried about critters getting into the insulation. I left loose bundles of insulation down around all four corners of the cabin so that if the critters wanted to get insulation, they could just get it there for free. They wouldn't have to climb up anything. So I figured that would be a better way to, postpone them possibly coming up into my floor, but I haven't had any issues yet. Tim Hahn from New Jersey. Glad you can make it, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. Mountain Mariner Off Grid. How are you doing? Go down there at the peninsula. 9 degrees there in the mountains right now. It's, what did I say? It was like 2 degrees, 3 degrees here right now, but it was a chilly morning. It was a real chilly morning. Kevin wants to know how cold is it here? I think I just answered that. This morning was 22 below zero, though. Brad Blinko, hello from you and Stacy. Hello, Brad. Hello, Stacy. Glad you can make it today. Oh, Joseph, I grew up with Bisquick chicken. Was one of my mom's favorite, and still, I'll tell you what. So I've been throwing some food in because I used to do a lot more food than I have done in a while. So the last few videos have had food in them, and Bisquick chicken is my go-to oven chicken. I love Bisquick chicken. The flavor is just incredible. That with some mashed potatoes. Woof. Yum, 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 yum. Costa, how are you doing in South Carolina? Awesome you could be here today. Paul, if I lived there, I'd try moose farm, and I have elk, moose, and turkey. They do have caribou farms up here, but no moose farms that I am aware of. So you'd be like on the first. Thank you very much for that. Thumbs up will push the channel. It tells YouTube, hey, people really like this. And while I'm live, it may suggest it to other people that are just surfing YouTube. It does help, and I greatly appreciate it. Jill wants to know if I've insulated the coop. I have not. So everything I read, again, and this is all coming from somebody who'd never had chickens in his life until I moved onto the property. Everything I read said that insulation wasn't as much of a factor as making sure that you kept the coop draft free but ventilated, so that so that when they poop in the coop and the ammonia comes up, you don't risk the chickens getting any respiratory diseases. So no insulation on the coop, but pretty moved up pretty much to the forefront of projects for next year is a new chicken coop, a bigger one that I can actually walk into, and an enclosed run, so that they have a bigger area that they get out to in the winter and run. I really liked what Eric and Ariel did, and I kind of want to do something like that down here because it would be a lot better for the chickens to be able to get out more. Once the snow hits the ground, if I don't get out there and shovel it, then they pretty much just all congregate underneath the current big coop, and there's not much room for them to get out there and play and exercise. How much will wood cost a month compared to propane? Charles and Annalyn want to know. Well, other than the cost of gas for the chainsaw and the physical energy, it won't cost me anything because I've got a bunch of dead trees here on the property. So I can cut down those trees and probably heat my house for the next 10 years. So there's really no cost other than maintenance on the equipment to get it. And I do have to cut a lot of trees down. So that's the other reason, too, that I haven't been pushing to get the wood stove in, is I don't really have a stockpile of firewood right now. I have logs that I can cut up, but there was no hurry to do it because I didn't think I would get to this point. Jess, are there a bunch of ads doing it? Let me see. Hang on. I hope I don't glitch out here. I shouldn't glitch out. Let's see if I can get... That's not what I wanted to do. I want to go to here. Give me just a second here, folks. I'm going to see if there's anything I can do to alleviate what's happening. And I don't know if it's going to be too late to do anything with it. So let's see what I got. Can I do this while I'm live? There's customizations, monetization. It's probably right in there. Okay. See if that works. Okay, let's see if that works. Hopefully I'm still here. I'll find out in a second. Looks like I'm still here. Okay, I went in and tweaked a couple of settings on those ads. So I don't know if I even if I turn them off, but at the very worst, I should have slowed them way down. Trudy Cron, good. Glad you could be here. Awesome to see you. Paul wants to know, am I going to build a garage for my vehicle? I believe it would be, at least it wouldn't be snow covered or ice. No, I'll probably never. If I build a garage, I'll turn it into a shop. I'll never park a vehicle in a garage. I don't mind brushing the snow off of the truck in the morning, and I have remote start, so I can start the vehicle while I'm inside. And by the time I go out, the windshield's usually defrosted. But I'm not one of those people who has their vehicle in a garage. I never have been. Right? Yeah, YouTube strikes again. I knew they changed some of the settings on the lives because I get, obviously, as a creator, you get messages on that. But I didn't know that it was going to be so ridiculous. So going forward, you can bet I'll fix that in future lives. That won't happen like it's happening now. Hopefully, I've calmed it down. Scrolling down. And CK wants to know, do I plan on getting other animals besides chickens? Eventually, I'd like to. Yeah, I think that would be, I wouldn't mind raising a couple of pigs every year. And then, between Todd and Brother Will, I could probably, divvy up the meat, and Ward, we could probably divvy up the meat between 4 households and do pretty well. I wouldn't mind having more animals here, but it all depends on the direction that I go over the next couple of years. And I mean, I always wanted to build a log cabin, and I've built a cabin that I can live in now. So my next big project might actually be, Sean finding another piece of land up north and building a log cabin by hand. That would be super cool. So, a lot of it'll depend on that. Okay, definitely. I'll look at that, Robert. I'll look at that next time and make sure I got it set up right, because obviously I didn't have it set up right this time. Wow, crazy. So some are getting one ad, some are getting a ton of ads. Pam says she's gotten ads on her phone, but none on the TV. Charles and Annalyn are asking, what's my biggest project plans for the winter? I do want to get the hearth done for the wood stove. I've got the rock and everything that I need for the back of it, so I want to get that done. I want to get some more woodwork done inside. So the over here where the pantry and the bathroom are, I want to get all that closed in and done, and I want to start working on the kitchen. So I'd like to have the kitchen done sooner than later, because I'm really getting tired of not having an oven and not being able to do any baking. So I want to get the kitchen done. John wants to know if I've got any wild game to cook up. No, actually, John, the only game that I have right now are fish. So I've got salmon and I've got halibut, from trips this year and from the river, but no wild game. And I've kind of held off on doing any hunting at all. One, because I'm really busy, but most importantly, because the animals are so big. I don't want to go out and just shoot an animal for me. I mean, I'd be eating that thing exclusively for an entire year. I wouldn't mind going sheep hunting though. I do like sheep. But no other wild game in the freezer. Eric Water Truck, how you doing? He's got YouTube Premium, no ads. Well, that'll fix it. Rub it in there, Eric. Mike said, I asked this before in a video, am I going to build a shed for all of my tools? Yes. I want to build a shed/workshop. I'd like to have it like kind of all in one. And then I could, drive the snowblower up a ramp and have it in there and lift it up and do all my, do all my maintenance on it there. But yeah, I do want to build a nice wood shed out here in the front. I want to build a greenhouse up on the top. I'm thinking that I want to build that workshop shed back over here on this backside of the cabin, back where the extension of the bedroom is going to be. So out a little bit further. So there'll be some dirt work done before I can do that. A new chicken coop, a lot of stuff still I want to build. Kyle, how are you today? Awesome to see you. Do I use a block heater on my truck, or does it start okay at minus 22? I can't use a block heater. I have one on my truck, but I'm off grid, so I can't really plug it into anything. And when I say I'm off grid, literally all my lighting here is done off of a 12-volt deep cycle marine battery, one of them. And then I've got this 1800 watt portable power station. So when I fire the Honda generator up, I charge everything up at once. If it's really going to be bitter cold and I'm not going to go anywhere for a day or two, I will start my vehicle randomly every 6 to 8 hours and just let it kind of warm up, run through its cycle on the remote start. It lasts about 30 minutes. And I don't have any problems. Eventually, or occasionally, and pretty much every year, one week it'll happen where I'll be at home and not think about it, and I won't start the truck, and I'll go to start the truck on a Sunday and it won't start. So I have to fire the generator up and plug the block heater into it. But no block heater for me, right? I have it, but I can't plug in. Yeah, right. The kitchen's the most important room. The kitchen is the most important room. No, not so much. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Haven't seen any ads, but I pay for YouTube Red. I haven't seen YouTube ad in a few years now, between not seeing those and getting the music service. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Mountain Mariner's got martins, snowshoe hare, and ermine everywhere. I'm trying to get ermine on. I got a couple of ermines that are running around here on the property that are pretty cool. They are pretty neat. And then I've got lots and lots of hares, lots of. I mean, when the snow falls and I've been gone for most of the day because I leave the house usually at about 3:15 in the morning to go to work. By the time I come home, there's just rabbit tracks everywhere. It's pretty neat. Let's see what I got here. Sean, any updates on your generator? Oh yes. So I did use seafoam. I did buy some seafoam. I ran it in the first tank. But the thing about the generator with me too is that I'm finding I only need to run it like maybe 3 days a week right now. And for those that didn't know what happened, I had some issues with the generator. It was really surging. Bonehead that I am, it didn't even dawn on me. I went by the Honda shop to find out, what it could possibly be before I took it in to have it serviced. And the guy said, check your spark arrestor. And right away I went, that's exactly what it is. So I pulled the spark arrestor out of it and I'm leaving it out. I'm not going to put it back in because I don't run that generator anywhere where a spark would cause a fire. So ever since then, I haven't had any problem at all. But the first tank that I put in there after that, I added seafoam, and I'll probably do that every 4 or 5 tanks. I'll put in maybe an ounce of seafoam just to keep it running good. Al, a refurbished cook stove is being installed tomorrow and Tuesday. Nice. Oh, it's on Discord? I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Eric Water Truck, is your wood stove one of them fancy Blaze King 20-hour catalytic burners? No, but it's a beautiful Vermont Castings Vigilant. I'm going to spin the camera around here so you guys can see it. Right, there it is. It's a gorgeous little stove. Made possible by the kindness of a viewer, as a matter of fact. But it wouldn't, even one of those 20-hour stoves wouldn't burn for 20 hours up here because we don't have the right wood. We don't have hardwood in Alaska per se. So we're not going to get the super long burn times that you're going to get from burning oak and walnut and almond and maple and, the real hardwoods. But I'll get good burn time out of that. I'll get more than enough burn time out of that. Could not agree more, Jess. Could not agree more. Kitchen is the heart of the home. It's the most important room in the house as far as I'm concerned. Well, Joseph, if you're still here, good to see you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family. Fox It Outdoors, how you doing, my friend? We meet again. Awesome to see you. Cindy Squirrel Off Grid, welcome. Good to have you here. Another off gridder. Love it, love it. Also an off gridder right here, Robert at Curmudgeon. Also an off gridder, Mountain Mariner. I'll highlight him again. Also living off grid. Very awesome. Sand Dollar J, bet you are thrilled that roof is done. I am super thrilled. And it was so neat because when we got our first snow, and that will be in next week's video, so if you follow the Sean in Alaska on YouTube, and if you follow, hang on one second here. Hang on one second. Just had somebody come by. They're all, oh my gosh, are you live? I go, yeah, I'm live right now. So if you follow Sean in Alaska on Facebook, you'll see some pictures that I share via Instagram, and I've shared a few on the TikTok channel as well. We do have the white stuff on the ground, and when the first storm came in and it really started dumping, all I could hear was the snow sliding off that roof. It was so awesome. So awesome. Dimensional Horse, glad to see you, my friend. Popped in for a quick thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. Welcome back, Philip. Beto, good to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it. Jess, I don't get up at 3:15 in the morning. That's when I leave for work. I get up at 2:30. 2:15, 2:30. David Evans, glad to see you, my friend. Awesome you could be here today. Right? I'm not doing that. Man, I don't know how far behind I am right now. Trying to catch up. Paul Davidson, YouTube is sort of free if you want to watch their stupid ads. I've been paying for it since 2012 membership, so I guess there's two schools of thought, one way or the other. I don't mind watching the ads. I haven't paid for it, but I don't have any subscription services that I pay for at all now. So ads have never bothered me. I grew up on an age of TV where we always, when the ad came on Sunday night when we were watching, Wonderful World of Disney or Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, we all took off, ran to the bathroom, got our snacks, got back out to the couch. So I kind of use it for that. But when you're live, I guess it would be a pain in the neck. My friends on YouTube, Off Grid, Jay and Jen Jay and Jen are awesome. They are super, super cool people. I really, really like them. I've known them via YouTube since, man, I think we both started. They're just super cool people. Asking if you review the product, get lots of portable generators. I get a lot of offers. And I did pretty much my first ever promotional video with this OPS 1800 watt power station. And some people were super positive about it. Other people were like super negative about it. And here's how I look at it. I'm never going to review a product that I personally would not use here or that I don't think you might want to use yourself. I'm not a salesman when it comes to that. I'm Sean in Alaska. It's about my YouTube channel. It's about what I'm doing here, building the cabin and building my life in Alaska. But if something comes along and somebody wants to, offer me something that I definitely would use here, then I am not going to turn it down. There's no way, shape, or form. That being said, this week I probably had 15 different companies reach out and want me to do something, and I had to tell them all the same thing. I would never use your product. I'm sorry. It looks like a neat product, super, super cool, but I would never use it. And if I'm not going to use it, then I can't promote it. And then I even had one company that said that I would have to, within receiving the product, I would have 15 days to make a video and release it. And I told them that's not going to happen. I go, if you want me to test your product out, 30-day use minimum at my end before I will ever do a video to say yay or nay about something. I'm not going that direction. I don't ever want to go that direction. And anytime I ever have a promotional video, it will be in addition to the video that I'm going to give you every week anyway. So it's up to you whether or not you want to watch them. Robert, awesome to see you. Glad you could make it today. Right? Prince among men. Prince among men. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Delusional Horse. Or Dimensional. Why do I say delusional? Dimensional. Thursday, I get back Saturday. Wow, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Doug Snelling, welcome. Glad you could make it today. I could go coal too. Coal is super easy up here. I can go down to Homer and I can pick it up off the beach. I mean, there's a lot of coal here. But then that you come into a different situation with storing it and what kind of, and coal's dirty. I don't care how you do it. Coal's dirty, but coal burns nice. Coal will keep you warm. Oh, Ray said the ads have stopped. Good. I don't know if they'll stop completely, but at least they've hopefully slowed down drastically. John wants to know how the Northern Lights are this season. They've been awesome. The Northern Lights have been pretty epic so far this year. The problem we have now is that, when we have all the clouds in, you can't see them no matter what. But we've had some nights where they've just been completely off the hook, and it's been cloudy, so I couldn't get any pictures. CK, are you decorating for Christmas? Okay, sneak peek. Sneak peek. You ready? Maybe. Maybe. That was the other sneak peek I was going to show you guys. Oh, I didn't know that. So if you're a member and you get an ad, let me know. If you're a member of the channel and you get an ad, let me know, because that would be interesting to see if non-members didn't get ads or did get ads and members didn't. Right, Jess? Mutual. I've never heard of anyone else even mention. Oh, dude. I'm going to sit here in the Jeep and wait patiently while Jim goes out and gets manhandled and attacked by that pack of jaguars. Marlon Perkins. Mike, but you get a lot of free products. You do, Mike, but there's nothing free in life, right? Robert A. Heinlein has a great line in a book, and it's an anachronism. It's Tunstall. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. I didn't do this to get free stuff. I did this to share what I'm doing, and hopefully, my kids would see it and they would see that their dad could do this, and they would think to themselves, if my dad could do that, I could do anything. And hopefully other people would watch it and say, man, if this idiot in Alaska could do this with no experience at all, maybe I can chase that dream that I have, or maybe I can build that shed in my backyard or something. So I didn't do this for that stuff. But I won't turn it down if it fits. If it works for what I'm doing, I will definitely probably do it. But it's got to work for what I'm doing. I don't want stuff just to have stuff. Be charming. How are you? Awesome to see you. Deanna Walters from the UP. Good to see you. Awesome to have you here today. Dimensional. Well, I can be delusional. David, you missed it. I have to do I want to do the hearth. I want to do the backsplash. I want all the interior stuff done on the wood stove before I punch a hole through that wall. So it's just timing at this point for me to get to that stage where I can get that done. I don't think people get wound up about the paid sponsorships, realize that for the most of it, YouTube is their job. If your job started off offering you more money, would you turn it down if it was legit? No, exactly. I don't have a problem watching other channels. Jay and Jen, if they're going to, and it might, part of it might be too, because I live this lifestyle, right? So if Jay and Jen are going to do a review on, a new solar generator or a new power station, or an all-in-one kind of thing, I would watch that because I would want to see if that would work for me. So I don't have a problem with people doing that stuff. Now, if Jay and Jen wanted to do, an ad on, some thing that I have no absolute interest in whatsoever, and that they probably wouldn't either, I would scratch my head and go, what are you guys doing? But they don't. Their integrity is there, and I think that that's the big issue. Brady G, how much snow do I have? About a foot. There's about a foot on the ground right now. Yeah, the northern lights, Deanna, have been coming down pretty far south this year. 100% upfront about exactly. And that's why I said there's no questions here that you could ask me today that are off the table. If you want to ask me any questions whatsoever about, the financials of YouTube or what it costs me to do this, how much I make, I work full time doing this. So for me, it's a little different than other people because I can't do some of the stuff that other channels can do because I only have a limited amount of time every week to be able to do it. Speaking of which, you're going to see a little variance in my videos and how they're going to come out. You might have noticed it in the last couple of videos. I'm kind of recording everything that I do all the time around here now. And then I put a video together at the end of the week. And sometimes there'll be big projects and sometimes there'll be little ones. But yeah, you got to maintain your integrity doing this. You can't sell out. You really can't. Because if you do, people aren't stupid. They're going to know that right away. And I got to look at myself in the mirror when I have a mirror. But I have to be able to appreciate the person I'm looking at, when I'm shaving. And if I lose respect for that person, then I'm never going to do it. Right? Yeah. Ray Davies, a tree before Thanksgiving. Yes. Yeah. And do you know why? Because that's the first full-size Christmas tree I've had in 11 years. And you want to hear a funny story about that tree? So I bought that at the infamous Wally World because I went to the orange store yesterday to pick up some shelving because the project I'm working on right now is getting the pantry converted into an actual pantry, which means I had to move all the tools and everything out of there. And I'm going to move them into the bathroom because obviously I'm not going to have a bathroom inside for a while yet. I don't have a well. I don't have any of that stuff to deal with. And I'm not planning on finishing that bathroom out anytime soon. So I picked up some shelving for it. Well, after I got done with that, I said, you know what? I'm going to get a tree. So I went to Walmart, bought the tree, bought a tree skirt. I'm walking out the door and the gal goes, hey, can I see your receipt? I'm sorry. I go, hey, not a problem at all. I'm one of those people. I don't have a problem if you want to look at my receipt because I didn't take anything. So yeah, knock yourself out. You're doing your job. I don't have a problem with it. And so she gets a receipt and she's going and she looks at me and she goes, don't I know you from somewhere? And I go, well, it's a small community. I go, I work over at Safeway in Soldotna. And she looks at me and she goes, no, you have a YouTube channel. And she goes, am I going to see you put this tree up on the YouTube channel? I said, yes, you are. So super, super cool when that kind of stuff happens. All right. Leslie's saying he's a member of the channel and he's not getting ads. So, hey, want to avoid the ads? Channel membership. Pretty cheap. There's a little join button down below. Jerry Canadian, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Oh, beach arming, very cool, right? Christmas in Alaska. There's no, everything in Alaska is more beautiful. Everything in Alaska is more, it's just phenomenal here. Peace Journey, awesome. You could make it. Glad to have you here today. Well, there's that part too, right? Eric Watertruck's got a great comment. I'd watch a review of a bunch of junk if it was entertaining. I would too. If the person was like, what was that? Sham Now or whatever Sham. Remember those over the top freaking infomercial? I would watch those kind of things and just die laughing watching them. So yeah, if they're entertaining, I'm gonna watch them. I don't, Richard, I don't really do Thanksgiving, right? I work every year on Thanksgiving Day. I go over and I'll have some dinner with somebody, but especially since I've been in Alaska, I don't have family here. So, we're not getting together and doing a big Thanksgiving thing. So I work so that somebody else can take the day off. Speaking of greatness, speaking of the legend, the man, the myth himself, Russell, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Brady, I've got a foot of snow outside right now. How long have we been on for? 44 minutes. Okay. Normally I go an hour. We might go a little bit longer today because it's the first one of the year. So as long as you guys want to hang out with me. Oh, look who decides to get up from his nap. Well, he probably had vertigo. And the only thing that makes it go away for him is his naps. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Okay. Solar powered battery. So we're talking about companies that reach out and say, hey, promote my stuff for me. And we'll send you something for free. So I had this portable power station, and it's pretty much on the low end of what I could actually use here at the cabin. I could run some tools off of it, but I don't think I could run, the big chop saw off of it. But I could run all the regular hand tools off of it, and I could charge up all my camera batteries, and I could run my Christmas tree lights, and I can run all this stuff, that I'm using right now while I'm doing this live or editing video. But I had another company reach out that had like the coolest little portable power station, and it's like a suitcase, and it folds open, and the two parts are solar panels, and you can take it anywhere with you. But I told them, I go, I'm sorry, but it's a cool unit, but I have zero use for that. It's way too small for me to do anything with. About the only thing I could see you doing with that is maybe running your television or running your laptop continuously off of it. And I don't need anything like that. So I turned that down, but it was super, super cool. It was a super neat thing. But I just couldn't. I'm all, and they messaged me back like 3 or 4 times. No, man, really. I go, I'm sorry. I have no use for it. Karen wants to know how the family's doing. They're all doing great. They're all doing great. Daughters are doing well. Grandkids are doing well. I chat with them and video chat with them multiple times a week. So yeah, doing good. I think my oldest daughter, she has the 3 boys. She, multiple times throughout the night, she just wants to strangle them. But they're boys, so I can't blame her. They're great kids though. They're just freaking animals. They're boys. Forrest, good to see you. Glad you can make it today. I know, right? You guys got a lot of snow so far. We haven't. The storms have been tracking so that you're getting hit. We got hit real good with that first one, but you're getting hit with every other one after that. I'm talking about the ones watching pay for the membership. It helps pay YouTubers. It does. So when I make money on YouTube, because I'm monetized, it tells me where the money comes from. And there is a line on there from premium members, how much money I make from them. I don't know how it breaks down. I've never figured that out. I'm not into all of that. I'm just pretty happy every time, a check gets deposited into my account. I'm like, man, that's cool. I'm doing something I love to do. It's a ton of fun, and they're paying me for it. That's awesome. Jeff Grady, how are you doing today? Some of the stuff, a few creators, not necessarily off-grid items, push to sell is ridiculous. So much junk out. Exactly, right? And it's not all. The company that wanted me to turn a video around in 15 days when I got it, the name of the company is called iHood, and their stuff is pretty cool. And it makes sense for me. It's heated vests and jackets, right, that are powered with lithium batteries that you recharge in your home. So I could recharge them off the power station and stuff. But for something like that, I would not feel comfortable giving a review on it unless I used it for a month, for a full month. I want to every single day put that thing on, because the process of recording a video and editing a video is a week in itself. So if you're going to give me, 15 days or 2 weeks to review something, the first 7 days is the only time I'm going to have to actually try it out, because the next 7 days I'm trying to put a video together for it. So it's not enough time. I need more time for stuff like that. Cool Jewel, how are you doing today? Is shipping container a good solution for storing my stuff? Some people use it, some people don't. I don't want to buy one because, to be honest with you, I think that you get too many of those on your yard and it looks like junk. It would look like junk on my yard, and I don't have an area cleared where I would put one. I'm not a super big fan of them. I could see where they would be very useful, but I think that the more storage room you have, the more stuff you're going to store, the more junk you're going to keep you don't need. Kind of a minimalist when it comes to that. John Feeney, thank you very much, my friend. Greatly appreciated. Super awesome. Right. Alaska, right? Once you've been here, if you love it, it never leaves you. If you hate it, you can't get out fast enough. There is no middle ground here. Am I putting culture stone or real stone around the wood stove? Since I don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to go with cultured stone because it's not real stone. It's fake stuff, but it's pretty. You want to see it? You guys want to see what it looks like? Here, I'll grab a piece. Oh. It's pretty gorgeous, huh? I got 19 boxes of this stuff for free from somebody at work. They're all, yeah, we're never going to use it. So I like it. It's going to look sharp back behind that wood stove. All right. Yvonne, if you're still here, have a wonderful week. And if I don't see you before then, happy Thanksgiving. David said, it's amazing you work full time, still have time to build a cabin and put out videos, etc. That's my entire life, David. Brother Will was the guy that came by and he said, oh my God, you're live? I said, yeah, I'm live. And he told me one time, he goes, hey, dude, don't make this your life. I go, it's too late. It already is. It's a hobby that I really, really enjoy. Okay. I had intended to work full time and build this place to begin with anyway. And videoing, makes it take a little bit longer, makes it take a lot longer in some stuff, depending on what I'm doing. The editing for me has gotten pretty routine because I know how I want it to progress, and I know what things I can do and I can't do in video editing, and I'm not really trying to be too fancy. But it all takes time, but it's like anything else, right? It's not a chore if you enjoy doing it. Paul, have a great week, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Sandra said she's a subscriber, no ads as well. Perfect. Very cool. That's it. ShamWow. That was it. Adam, welcome. Am I going to build a storage shed or a wood shed? Both. I want to build a storage shed and a wood shed. The storage shed is going to be a storage shed / shop. And then the wood shed, obviously, is just going to be for wood. CB, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. I think I'm way behind here. I need to get caught up. Carol, welcome from Duluth, Minnesota. Or is it Duluth or no, just northern Minnesota? Oh, shoot. Al said, spoke out of step, just got hit with an ad. Charles and Annalyn got another one. Crazy. Snow, gross. Minnesota, thankfully, this is a totally oddity for this time of year. It's been in the 40s and 50s. Nice. All right. Right? We had a warm October, and it took a while for the snow to get here this year. And I'm not complaining because we probably lost an entire month of winter with how long it took to get here. So no complaints from me. Thomas Fry, happy Thanksgiving to you as well, my friend. Good to see you. Nina, welcome. Good to see you this year. Devoted Seeker, welcome and awesome to have you here today. Am I gonna already got that one? I already answered that one. Remy, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Okay, scrolling through here. Isn't that pretty? That stuff is really gorgeous. Good. I think I must be catching up because I'm like only 3 or 4 minutes behind now. Oh, you did, Nina. Very cool. All right. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be nice. I just can't figure out what I'm going to do kind of for a mantle on top. Not So Remote Alaska gave me all the wood that I used to build the chicken coop. He milled it himself, and he brought me over some live edge stuff. So I might take a piece of that live edge wood and do a mantle on the top of that stone with that live edge. I think that would look pretty sharp because it's native Alaskan wood too. So that would really look neat. John Feeney wants to know how he can join. I don't, John, on a phone, I don't know, but there should be at the bottom of every one of my videos, there should be on that video, join this channel. So I think you can do that. I think you can join that way. Holy smokes, CB. Nice. To pay for the trim, I said you installed incorrectly. Can't wait for spring to see more progress on the exterior. So I did. That is awesome, dude. Thank you very much. So a couple of questions I get is why did you do it that way? So his question was, you only have one nail all the way and it's going to cup. That trim that I put around the windows and around the door is temporary. I did that this winter just to seal off the edges of the windows and the doors. And by temporary, I mean that it's going to have to come out when I put the siding on the outside of the house. So it was really inexpensive. It was like $100 for all of that wood to do the trim. And it did make the place look cuter. I think it made it look nicer. But yeah, I definitely call me out. If you guys see something I'm doing in one of my videos that you think is wrong, by all means, let me know. And I will either answer it or I will take your advice on how to do it. Ashley Anderson, welcome. Good to see you. I'm caught up. Nice. David, Sean, do you plan on digging a well sometime in the future? Yes, but not in the near future. So it'll be a couple of years before I do a well, because when I do that, I'd like to pay cash. I'd like to just boom, dump it out there, have somebody come in and just have it paid for the minute it's installed, which means I want to have everything run in the house that I'm going to need water for. Russell, you were like the first person in my mind. I would never call you out on something if I felt you did it wrong. I'm above that. Russell never calls me out. He takes notes. He always lets me know, Sean, I watched your video today and I have notes. Emma, good to see you. It's glad to be back. It's awesome to be back. Dimensional Horse, have yourself a fantastic Thanksgiving, you and your family. I hope you do have just a wonderful time. John Feeney, the kilt is doing fantastic. Sitting over here on the pile of stuff that I have to get moved into the bathroom, quote, storage room. I'm all caught up. I like it when I get caught up. That's nice. I didn't even see that, Al. This is awesome, man. The man on the street gifted 50 Sean and Alaska memberships. Very cool, man. Thank you very much. That is awesome. Well, we're winding down here. It looks like it's just going to be an hour-long live after all, because chat's kind of died down here for me. I'm not seeing any comments or questions. Oh, Scotty. Scotty jumped in. How's the offset doing? It's nice. I like it, Scotty. It's buried in snow right now, but it's freaking awesome. In Russell's voice, I know, right? Raymond L., how are you? How expensive is land in Alaska? It depends on the land, the location of the land, and how much you want to buy. So you can get great deals. You can buy, an acre of land for $2,000, or you can buy an acre of land for $50,000. It just depends on where it's at. So I tell everybody the same thing. If you're interested in buying land in Alaska, look up MLS Alaska and get on there and do a land search in an area that you think you might be interested in. But before you buy it, walk it in all seasons, right? You want to see for sure what it looks like in spring, and you want to see for sure what it looks like in fall. Because that's when you're going to have the most water on the property, because there's a lot of marshy pieces of land up here. If it's coastal, it can be very marshy. You can tell by looking at the trees though too, but you want to look at that land, and the prices can be anywhere. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it today. Brady G, are you going to build a garage for the cold Alaska winters? Nope. A shop. I won't have a garage. I've never parked a vehicle in a garage, and I come from snow country in the Sierras in California, and I don't mind dusting the snow off the vehicle. That doesn't bother me. The only person who ever parked in my garage when I had one was my mom. And then she got mad because I turned the garage into a brewery and she couldn't park in there anymore. Leslie Lindsay, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I hope you have a fantastic week. Oh, okay. Durdam, welcome, first of all. And you have not got any ads. You just started YouTube Premium. Very cool. Looks like we're good at the end, folks. That's going to wrap it up, I think. Thank you guys for joining me on my first official live of the year. I'll try and do these on Sundays again, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you think of any questions afterwards, or if you're viewing this after it's already happened, leave a comment, send me a message. My email address, I believe, is on my regular channel for Sean in Alaska. Join me on Facebook. Sean in Alaska's got a page there as well. TikTok, I do some pretty unique content on there. I don't really do any of the stuff on TikTok that I do on here because it's just short 30-second things. So it's just like what's happening with my life at that time. But by all means, join me there as well. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy it with your family, friends, or just by yourself, which is probably what I'm going to do. And we shall see you guys all next week. I'm out of here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.